of the. Okay, well, we are live now on Twin Peaks Coffee Time. This is James, joined today after a small break. Peter's back, which is a good thing, and I hope he's all right there. How are you doing?
Well, thank you for saying that's a good thing. Yeah, I like the attitude.
This is an absolutely appalling situation I've got myself into with this tinsel. So let me just take this off.
Oh, it's don't get me to steaks. Yeah,
Sure, you could get, like,
you're being attacked by a constricting piece of tinsel. Yeah.
Did you? Oh, did you actually see on the news somewhere there was, like, for my sins, basically, I, for some reason, have a liking of subjecting myself to the Daily Mail website, right?
Daily Mail.
It's absolute shit. Honestly, it should be just banned, but like the amount of shit on there is just unbelievable.
Did you hear? This is topical to the Rail and Maritime and Transport Unions 48-hour strikes, but
yeah,
previously rail workers on most a lot of franchises, they didn't want they refused to have the Daily Mail on board the trains. Yeah,
good.
they refused to have them, on board the it's not a newspaper, but I'm highly interested in.
No, the actual. I think the difference between the actual published one is the published one will put kind of its own rather tacky and everything view on the news.
It's not a newspaper.
No,
it's
at the start.
A smooth paper.
But I'm saying the difference between the published one is the published one has a pretense of giving political news and all this kind of thing, which is essentially absolutely riddled with just lies. And
I don't follow the Daily Mail. Are there two versions? The public one and the private one?
No, I don't mean that. If you let me finish, like the online one is basically just celeb crap. Like
online, yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and then when it gets to political, it's stuff like trade union boss Mick Lynch, like he's the real Grinch of Christmas. Picture of Rishi Sunak, like absolute terrible stuff.
Well, I'm pretty much involved with the principles of Annalise Dodds, who's the chair for Labour, chair party for Labour. Annalise Dodds is my MP, and we're very much into the tax avoidance and getting that out of the way. Tax avoidance, for the public purse. Getting the tax laws cleaned up, so that Britain's not a pirate state, worse than Switzerland.
Well, I mean, it is now. We've got a prostitute whose wife is, I don't know, like a multi-millionaire, and I just think, like, if your wife's that rich, or you're in that kind of situation through family, like, attend to that. Don't be the prime minister, because nobody. I mean, essentially, the news that they carry on now, especially in some outlets, which I think, of course, is a sort of a reflection of the way in which there's just so much bile being spewed nowadays from both sides, really. In a way, they say essentially they're going to.
Yes, that's true.
They're waiting it out. Let me just finish on this point, otherwise basically they're going to wait out Rishi Sunak because nobody likes him, essentially. That the Tories want to try and salvage something, so there's a whole horde of them who essentially want to reinstate Boris.
I don't think that.
I find that very difficult to believe.
Yeah.
No, I would like it if they did that in a way, because then they would absolutely basically have just firebombed themselves. And I just want to say, anybody watching, I'm not actually condoning firebombing the Daily Mail offices.
My point
but
is,
if it
as
happens,
being
okay.
Labour, would be to say that I'm not really interested in the politics of the Conservative Party, their structures and their misconceptions or their deceptions or their reconceptions. I'm more for supporting the Labour agenda, and that is a positive agenda that is
Well, I'm supposed to be
for
as well. I mean,
the
I am a member of the Labour
benefits.
Party.
I've been asked to be a member. Uh, I'm paying into Liberty at the moment. Yeah.
Well, it's like
So I
£2 a
could.
month. So in the current situation, I should withdraw that and say no. I'm not paying £2.
Yeah.
I need that to eat. And
But I don't want to sound like bloody sick. It's like I've always been I suppose it taught me at Millbank to be academically non-political. Yeah. That you don't get asked, even though you're under, when I was working there, it was under a patriot government, yeah?
Do you know where, can you see the background on the screen now, Peter? Would you know where this is?
Where's that? Let's have a look. That looks like, I can see the background. That looks like a phone. No,
Yeah, it's the Phoenix in, I think it's some cinema. Is it Finchley or is it somewhere else?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Well, anyway,
Finchley, you mean Finchley, North London?
Let's not go into the past now at this point, because
would that be Finchley, North London?
I find it incredibly. I don't really like just. I think the trouble with this channel is we've spent so long, basically, with the whole Bring Back Twin Peaks thing, which was obviously something, in the past. So let's just concentrate on what is happening now, in terms of, because I think a lot of things, like before we went live, you were mentioning Judge Dredd, and I think that is very much, in some senses, pertinent to today, in that, for instance, you deal with the police and people like that, they're incredibly wary of every situation now. So in many ways, they're the opposite of someone like Judge Dredd.
I find in dealing with the police, but I showed the initial.
Can you just say that again? I don't understand what you said at the start.
I find that dealing with the police, when I've had to deal with the police, that
you hate them.
No, I adopt a polite and positive attitude for their situation. Right. Well, I do. I try and tend to. I adopt a not polite and positive, just a tolerant approach.
Because if they're not polite and positive, then I don't see why I should be polite to them. I just. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got a point, actually. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm probably a bit naughty as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm certainly not. I'm certainly fairly pleasant to most people. I think that I think the point I'm making is not any personal contact with police, because like the last time I saw any police, they were in Game, the computer game shop. And
you're where are you based? You are in Derby.
I live just outside the game store.
A game store, and that would be Derby around that area. I'm in Oxford.
Yes, I know.
But I'm London as well. I lived 25 years in London. So Oxford to me is a minor metropolitan area, but it does have a lot of high volume of cross traffic, and a lot of crims as well, a lot of street crims. So, and also there's a lot
of. What do you mean by street crims?
There's a lot, just basically perpetrators of all kinds of venereal, virus, but of humanity. Yeah.
No, you mean
forms. The many forms. Many forms.
You mean? Yeah. I don't find it funny. So, thieves.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah. Well, where I live, I live on an island, nearly an island in the central.
Not literally an island, though. You just call it.
It's nearly an island. It's called Grandpont. It's called Grandpont.
All right, but there's no need for anyone watching to know that.
Yeah,
It's just...
yeah. And basically, there's lots of ways off this island for pickpocketers, purse stealers, handbag stealers, and general crims to run and get away from the police. The police are cut off from road routes. Yeah. So I get a lot of helicopters overhead during the summer.
Well, I don't think these helicopters. I don't think helicopters are pursuing street criminals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, around my area all the time. Yeah, it's the nature of where I live. Yeah.
Well, if there were more police actually on the street,
it's great around there. It's great. It's absolutely excellent.
You sound shit to me.
It's absolutely excellent. It's absolutely excellent. I've lived in some worse places. Believe me.
Well, for me, it sounds kind of a combination of really people with wealth and then people with nothing. So it becomes this melting pot of,
No, it's Oxford has the highest child poverty rate in the country. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, it does have the high child.
But at the same time, there are a lot of people who are fairly, have money there. Yeah,
and there's a lot of nice people about. I've got. They're a bit slow here, though. Yeah. Compared to us up in London, yeah, they're a bit slow. Yeah.
You mean like they're actually
on their politics? They're a bit slow.
Mentally, you mean?
On their politics, a bit slow.
Yeah. Dim-witted, basically.
No.
Ireland.
An island. They don't look nationalistic. They look localistic. They're not nationalism. They're not nationalistic. They don't look on things on a national profile. It's what suits them, and they're very indigenously inward looking. Yeah. As if they are the.
Who are you talking about now exactly? I don't know. But anyway.
Oxford's very much inward looking. They don't look. They don't look at the outside world. Yeah, yeah. That's a city. You see, you have the university in the city. You have the university in the city. The city.
I don't think the university is inward looking.
No, you have the university and the city. I'm not referring to the university. Yeah, I'm referring to the city. Yeah. To the city, yeah. They are a bit inward looking, rather than actually looking at a national overview. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's
the way it is. Yeah.
I don't really know what to say about that. But this is what I've got this, for instance. This is called Comics Unlimited.
And where's that from?
I ordered it off of Amazon because I think they've...
And specifics Comics Unlimited. What about it? The men's room.
Well, if you give me a chance.
Tell the men's room.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... It's kind of like more... This issue I got was not really ideal, but I read some of it. It just...
That's what I'm getting through. Just there.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with comics, right?
That's just what I'm reading at the moment. Just saying that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Well, no, I'm not bringing this up because this is what I'm reading. I'm talking about like comics and Judge Dredd. Like at the end, it's got
2018. Yeah, 2018.
Judge Dredd's crime file, and he's holding a. Anyway, it's. But this is a place you can buy back issues of like really old comics, like Sparky, whatever that is, and I found all of that stuff.
That was a 1950s title, Sparky. 1950s title.
It may have started
about 1950s. About 1950s.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 1950s title.
I think with me, like I just like the way they capture a certain spirit or whatever of that time, especially, and the often sort of nature of the illustration, like particularly with films, etc., and the influence of all that, they wanted to create a more of a cinematic kind of style within the pages. But that in itself is not. I mean, 2000 AD did, but that doesn't necessarily indicate the quality of the actual content.
I think on Judge Dredd, with Carlos Ezequiel, Ezequiel Carlos, who originated on the artwork, I think when Ron Smith, as the artist, would take over, he was much more clearly defined on his edges, whereas Carlos was a lot more fuzzy, Ron Smith would draw. There's also another artist that would draw on occasion, Ron Smith, on Judge Dredd. Ron Smith, his name would be, and his edges were a lot finer,
if we're not actually bringing up photos now or anything, there's no real. I'm not really interested in like the history of these. I'm more interested in what they captured. Like, for instance, back in there was this sort of what they describe as tone deaf kind of DC Comics thing back in whenever this was. And this guy is asking, like, what is your brotherhood?
Oh, yes. May I interrupt? My anniversary, my anniversary today. I'm 4 weeks on smoking.
And do you want to say anything about that? Or?
I'm just saying.
Are you finding it difficult? Because, like, you're up, like, we're both up and it's nearly 6 a.m. And, like, have you... Obviously, you've been pulling through since you were in hospital. And
I've got patches. It was November 26th, and it would be November 26th was when I had my last cigarettes. Yeah, November 26th. So
are you sleeping in the day and awake at night, or?
I'm just keeping warm. Yeah. I've had some rum tonight.
Well, it's 12 Celsius now.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? We've got this southern wind come up. I got rid of the Arctic wind, and they said it would be a lot better. Yeah. So I'm just keeping warm. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, let's talk about something postulatingly brilliant. What would be your take on Stallone versus Karl Urban on Dredd?
Well, I've never really watched the Stallone film because it got such bad reviews when it came out. I just dismissed it.
I'm a Dredd fan, so I had to watch it.
But I would imagine, I think that Karl Urban was superior.
I agree.
I do think that the film was... It could have built a bit more into Dredd as a character, but I think that they were eyeing it up for a sequel, which never happened. So, yeah, like with Stallone, he was probably like likable, whereas the Karl Urban character, certainly there's none of that, was it? It wasn't trying to make Dredd like.
Stallone made a big mistake. He took off his helmet. Yeah.
Dredd
never takes off his helmet. Dredd never takes off his helmet.
Yeah, the Dredd film, which I saw in 3D on the cinema, it did.
I saw 3D as well.
I did think it was good. I wouldn't say it was excellent, but it was good. It was at times very good. But I think it was too catering or like too focused on the action a bit. But that's part and parcel of it being 3D, because you've got like these sequences where people are flying through glass, or it's kind of using the 3D element a lot, isn't it? So
I saw it in 3D at the cinema when it first came out as well.
Did you think the 3D was good, as you recall?
I enjoyed it, yes.
Because I remember sitting quite far at the back and thinking, like, if I want to see this 3D, like, I want to just...
Oh, I was very fortunate.
Assess
I was at the multiplex. And it was a very empty auditorium.
Yeah, mine was as well. But then...
Yeah.
This was Dredd. It wasn't like... It probably filled up on Fridays and Saturdays more, but, like, it didn't really get perhaps the recognition it might have deserved a bit. I think... in many ways, it may have inspired some of the way Batman went in the following years, but you know.
Yes, I did see. I did see that the remark was made, and you're quite correct in that critique.
Even though, of course, you know, yes, I know
there not being a
Batman.
sequel possible, but it's a one-off art house Dredd. Yeah, the way Dredd should be.
Yeah, I can't remember the director, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Glenn. Not. What's the name of the female star in it? The actress.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
She's well known, but not really one that I ever. I think if one thing, it didn't have any. It certainly didn't try to be like have an appeal to a, for instance, a teen audience or something like that. Like kind of winking at the camera, like, "Hey, this is some violent shit going on here, but hey, here's a little bit of romance for you." There's no romance in that film as far as I can remember. It was just
this estate I lived in West London. I ended up on for 4 years, yeah, before I got back together and decided to go elsewhere. And it was there were like the mega blocks, you know, Mega City One.
Where was it?
Two tower blocks right next to me.
Oh, you mean in London?
Yeah. And Operation Crackdown will be going on, where they actually abseil from the top of the tower blocks and go through the windows. Yeah.
Doing what?
To get the dealers out who take over the blocks. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what part of London was that?
That was West London. Yeah. And
where in West London?
that would be Ealing Borough.
Like West London, a massive area, right?
Ealing Borough. Oh,
okay, I don't really know that area, but I can imagine.
He throws Ealing Borough, Ealing Broadway, Hanwell, West Ealing. Goes all the way up to Southall, and then when you get to the edge of Southall, you get into Hillingdon Borough.
Urban Crawl.
The best cello teachers are in Hillingdon, in West London. The best cello teachers are in Hillingdon.
Let's just stay on the Dredd topic, not about cellos.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything about cellos.
You got probably got cellos then.
Not if I've got one and a drug dealer's running at me. And I'm holding a cello, that would be. You do see a lot of people who are around here. As the shop owner the other day said to me, "Yeah, some crack dealers came in, were robbing from us. They live above us." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay. This is a pretty simple situation." But you know, it's not, is it? That's the thing. Once people do this kind of shit, basically the police come in and it's not as simple as just like arrest them, sort it out. It's like they have to investigate everything. And you know, it's not like the 70s or something. They're not going to take them out onto the street and hit them with a truncheon. They can't do anything. "Oh no, you can't touch me, you can't touch me. I'm just a drug dealing or drug taking scumbag." You know, fine. Not that I'm suggesting that violence is the answer, but I do think the threat of something in itself can scare people a bit. But
it's not about drug taking scumbags. It's more about the environments that these places breed. The environments these places breed.
No, it is to me because I think there's people who are just they may get into drugs and stuff like this, but
do you know what? My first father-in-law was a chief superintendent in the Met. Yeah, my first father-in-law, potential father-in-law, was a chief superintendent in the Met. Yeah, chief superintendent in the Metropolitan Police. Yeah, and I know. So
that means that he wasn't on the ground though, doesn't it? So he's not like that. Have you seen that thing with Martin Freeman, the responder on the BBC?
Martin Freeman. No, First Responders.
It's a very good. He was surprisingly good in that. You might think, "Oh, Martin Freeman, he's like in Sherlock or whatever," but he like really got the role. He was like, he looked worn out, like a bit of a grey stubble and everything, and he was like leaner, and he was playing literally someone who was a responder, and he was just sort of completely frayed at the edges, and also being violent sometimes, and but it was sometimes it was like, you know,
I mean, like he's responding to someone being violent towards him as a first responder.
well, more like, yeah, in a situation that he was in, it was like,
Well, if you're a first responder, and
no, he was defending
yeah,
a woman though.
yeah, but if you're a first responder, and someone's going to take you out, you've got to take them out, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, but within he was slightly he was overreacting though slightly.
Stress situation, perhaps. Yeah.
He was on some kind of medication because he was not sleeping properly. Like he'd sleep in the day, he'd go to bed, he'd come back, like say it's one or two in the afternoon, go to sleep, but then he'd be waking up before it was even dark again, and then going out again. It was like, what? You know, like some people, they say, I've sometimes spoken to some people and they're like, oh yeah, I've had 4 or 5 hours sleep, I'm fine.
Oh, I sleep on.
And yeah, it's just.
Today I had about 4 hours sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all need more, don't we? It's just that you can function on less sleep, but it makes you a little bit like frayed, is the word.
No, sometimes I get sometimes I get 8 hours. Sometimes I get 4.
Yeah,
but it's never more than 8. Yeah, no more than 8.
Well, anyway, just don't go Christmas shopping. That's all I'm saying. Like, you should have seen in the cold yesterday. It was absolutely. There was this woman shouting at the taxi driver when I was waiting, "It's frozen!" And then, like, I was like, "Okay, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna."
Well, that's.
It bordered on her getting into being almost like she was just like constantly muttering to herself, swearing, and like then she went off. She walked up the street, like further up this kind of pedestrianised area. She was carrying on doing that for about 5 minutes, just shouting, cussing, and then in the background I could hear these women doing like, "Hark the herald age." I was thinking, this is the true meaning of Christmas. Like the
glory to the newborn king.
But no joking, Peter. I mean, the temperatures, like everything she was doing, was absolutely understandable.
Yes, it's just people being people.
Well, no, but not when it gets into borderline racism. You know, it's.
Yeah. Well, what do you do? Yeah. What do you do?
Well, tell them to stop being racist bastard.
I'm not bought police, so I'm not bought police. You know,
no, I'm not thought police, but if someone's being racist, I'll tell them to shut the fuck up. So.
Well, yeah.
Even if they're an old person.
That's a good point, yeah.
I wouldn't punch the person in the face. I'm not saying, you know, I don't want to go to NASCAR races.
It really depends what context it's in, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
No. You know, like I don't want to go to NASCAR races in America and like firebomb them. You know.
Why? Why would you want to firebomb NASCAR?
Because of the clientele.
Oh, you mean the rednecks?
No, like middle Americans, yeah.
Yeah,
but can you imagine the mentality of someone like, "Hey man,
I don't know. I've worked with one American close up for about 6 months.
He was
time,
actually a very nice guy.
No, he wasn't. He was a bit off. Yeah, he was a bit off. Yeah.
What you mean?
He's like okay. No, he's a bit off. He's from Austin, Texas, and he got into a lot of fights with people.
Would you say he was a dick?
No, he was alright. Actually, he was nice enough.
He was just basically a bit like finding his feet in.
He can be a bit off now and again. Yeah, a bit off now and again. That's all.
He probably didn't quite.
But he was actually quite nice. He was quite nice. He taught me some things. From his skills.
In America, like I actually. I really appreciate all that kind of old America side of things and everything, but so in a way, that's a contrast between that and then this sort of.
He taught me some things. He taught me. He broke me into a publishing house very, very nicely. He was a nice guy. Yeah. Austin, Texas. He was from. He was. His name was Tom.
Not
yeah. Yeah. No, he was just Texan, yeah. You know, they're
Well,
just,
I was going to
they're
America and
just
stuff,
they're just
and
Texan. Yeah, they're just like that. Yeah.
oh yeah, they're all the same. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a joke, by the way. Like, there's just all sorts of people everywhere. Like, I met an English guy who lived in Knoxville, and he gave me his contact number and everything when I was going to America, because I was like quite a bit, you know, like obviously fish out of water, somewhat.
Fish out of water. My sister's the one who goes to
Have
America.
you ever been there?
No, I go the other way because of holidays. Only 2 weeks. I don't go to America and spend 2 weeks flying for with a 2 week holiday. I don't. I go to Europe instead. Yeah, always have done. Yeah. Always go to Europe.
What do you mean 2 weeks?
Well, I don't want to spend going to, you know, some went to Australia for 2 weeks, and I say, well, you're spending 48 hours on the bloody plane. You spend another 48 hours customs, yeah.
It makes the whole
and I've always gone skiing. I've always done skiing during the winter, taking a holiday during the winter, take 2 weeks during the winter, yeah, and take another 2 weeks in the summer, yeah, at work. So it would be Brittany, Normandy, touring, Paris, the Alsace, yeah, or it would be areas like
Amsterdam for 2 weeks of hitting the bong.
Oh, yeah, Amsterdam's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, go over there.
I mean, I've been to America.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I went to Amsterdam, and the first night I was there with my friend, I was like saying to him, "I don't know why we chose this hotel."
Yeah, I used to rent.
Not good.
We used to rent. She was renting, and I was staying over with her. A mayor's house. The mayor's house, one of his houses. Yeah, it was actually owned by the mayor on the
No, it wasn't like that for me. I was
on
like
the Kaisergracht, yeah,
right in the centre, and it was just
the
a noisy alleyway or something where I was.
Yeah.
So you
No,
were
I lived there for a while. Yeah.
You were lording it over everyone else. So.
No, it was I was just working and doing stuff. Yeah.
Riding a horse.
Engineering.
Down
No, I was over from Millbank for the installation of Rolls-Royce turbine divisions, marine turbines into
you know where Rolls-Royce comes from,
into the new dike system, in Holland. Yeah, I was over there on.
Peter, you said you were a bit like recently, a bit like talking fast and stuff. Just let's just have a normal conversation here. Don't keep talking so fast. Like,
yeah, that would be Rolls-Royce Marines Turbine Division.
Did you hear what I just said? I said it a couple of times about Rolls-Royce.
Yeah. What about Rolls-Royce?
Do you know where Rolls-Royce is based?
Well, I was talking about the Rolls-Royce Marines Turbine Division. If you're talking Rolls-Royce Aeronautics,
I'm talking about a general sense, obviously.
It would be Derby. Yeah. Derbyshire.
Well, no, I mean, they don't make Rolls-Royce cars and things like this anymore, do they? Really?
No, that's Volkswagen. That's Volkswagen. No, don't they? No, if you mean Rolls-Royce Aerospace or Marines Turbine Divisions, that's in different locations. Yeah.
Okay, let's just slow down a bit, because it's not even. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're going from pillar to post. You're going a bit fast. I can edit this. I can edit this bit out if I want, but I won't, because I just leave it like completely natural. It's not like we're having disagreements. I'm just saying, you know, like pressure of speech and things.
Okay,
I don't know.
Come back at me.
You must have a lot of people who visit you and stuff. So like,
I do.
I can't.
Actually,
I don't have the energy at 6 a.m. Like, I can go out walking now 5 miles if I want. But
I get a knock on the window. I've got The Lost Boys. You know the film, The Lost Boys?
You do know I know
I've
about
got
all
five
this
of them.
already.
I've got 5 of them. Yeah. Anyway, I was telling you anyway. Yeah, the Lost Boys. So I could get a knock on the window any time of the night. Yeah.
But that makes it sound terrible.
No, it's quite funny actually. Yeah.
Because if it's like they're the Lost Boys, that would suggest that they're coming into your window as a vampire,
No, I'm the head vampire.
off for you or something.
I'm the head vampire.
Yeah.
They're my boys. Yeah.
But in many ways though, they should be responsible like for themselves. They shouldn't be waking you up in the night, you know.
No, it just happens occasionally when when they lose their keys, when they've been kicked out of their accommodation, they need to have a sofa. You know, it happens occasionally. Yeah, it's I just know their parents and their friends and stuff.
Just slow down again. Why would they? Why would they get kicked out of their accommodation, as you just said?
Because they can be temporarily kicked out and then let in the next day.
No, I know, but you're just saying what happened, not why.
Well, that could be their parents kicking them out for a night. That can be any family reason. Yeah.
Okay, so basically they are literally like grown men who are acting like kids.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Are some of them, they're actually like kind of got...
There's a lot of them in Oxford.
There's a lower mental age, like...
They don't see things the way that Basil has mental health issues. James is dyslexic and learning difficulties. Nathan is just a street kid, yeah? And Simon is his mum's a millionaire who tolerates him now and again and then just sends him out into the cold every time she gets fed up with him. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of it goes on in Oxford. Yeah. A lot of accessorized children. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it before, like...
Yeah. But they're in their 40s, so they're not...
You mean like accidents?
Yeah, none of them have ever worked a day in their life, yeah? Yeah.
Nothing?
Yeah, they've never worked a day in their life, yeah.
Even if they've done 1 week, like...
No, they can't even do that, yeah?
Okay, so they have genuinely serious problems then, so...
Yeah, I'm just...
Surely they should be living in, like, supported housing or something, but...
No, Basil's mother was living in Spain.
Is there no availability of that?
Basil, and she's moved in with him into his flat, yeah, to look after him. Because
his name is genuinely Basil.
Because he gets Basil, yeah, Basil, yeah. No. Yeah, Basil. Because he gets
your child Basil in itself.
No, she's got fed up with it. She's buggered off to Australia for 3 months, yeah.
Have you ever said to her, why did you call him Basil?
I don't know. I've never asked her that. Yeah.
She says,
it hasn't come up. It hasn't come up in conversation.
I liked Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, basically, she probably can't remember even who his dad is. Yeah, like one day she'd had a bottle of champagne.
Oh, that's nothing. My sister is the Shoreditch Gripper. She's the Bethnal Green slammer. Yeah. She was detained under mental health for 7 months earlier this year. Yeah. She had a level 1 episode. I've been nursing her back to health. Yeah.
What do you mean that's nothing? You mean, when you say slammer, are you talking about slamming down drinks, or are you talking...
No, I mean, I'm just saying that it's just like using a nickname. But
what does it mean?
She lives in Bethnal Green. She's from Oxford. And there was a family problem. And she had a level 1 episode. She called it a level 1 episode. And she was detained under mental health for 7 months. I lost her for 7 months and I got her back again. Yeah.
Is that what the mental health services called it?
She was detained for a level 1 episode, something like that. So I've been nursing her.
What family did she live with?
You
said there was a problem in the family and that set her off.
She has 3 She has 3 daughters.
Oh.
They're all adult and grown up. She's divorced, second husband, and looking for a third husband, I think. And
She probably shouldn't have any husband at this point.
Yeah, so I've been nursing her back to health over the last 6 months.
Yeah, I know, but this is not something that you should be doing.
Well, our parents are dead, and I'm the eldest, and it falls to me to do it.
I know, but I don't think. I'm just saying that I think you need more help.
What, me?
With her.
Okay. Oh, with her. Oh, no, she's pretty independent. She's pretty independent.
But what exactly happened? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, I won't. Well, I can tell you, I suppose. You don't know. You know, like in Manchester, with a lot of the students, female students, protesting about date raping.
No.
Our daughter, my eldest niece, Jade, was at university in Oxford, and basically was date raped.
You don't have to mention any names.
Yeah,
I think
she was date raped. Yeah.
I think you mentioned this to me before, actually.
Yeah, she was date raped. And when my sister was told by her daughter, she went absolutely mad. And it caused a psychotic episode. An extreme psychotic episode.
Did she start thinking, I'm going to find this person, whoever? And
yeah, she wanted to kill them. And said she started to take on a pub. She started to take on a pub, and the police had to pull her into hospital. Then she was.
What do you mean taking on a pub?
She went and had a fight with a load of people in a pub.
Oh, you mean who? Whether it had nothing to do with her?
Just picked a fight with a load of people in a pub.
Oh, completely random. It was nothing to, basically because
yeah, she was having an episode. Yeah.
Partly the association of the pub with her daughter being.
No, I don't think so. I think she was just out to cause mayhem.
Did she go out drinking much?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Sometimes.
she was detained for 7 months, and I've had her the last 6 months after she was discharged.
I'll tell you what, over Christmas and stuff, just to interrupt, like you could go around Oxford and just sit around, say, at some table somewhere, and like just wait around until you find a £20 on the floor. You know, I did that in London, and then you're like, oh, £20, thank you.
Oh,
you could spend your whole day doing that kind of shit, basically. This, like the gentleman thief. Like, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I went down and sat at this table with my girlfriend in Harrow. Like, this whole table was just like bits of food and stuff left, and I thought, oh, someone will come and clean this up. And the way my girlfriend was, she was just like, oh, just leave it or whatever. And then I looked under the table. Oh, £20, thanks. And like, actually, the same thing happened in Nottingham. And then you just think, like, so people are so easily influenced by drink.
I was walking to a bar just
throw my money on the floor.
This is an interesting story, very similar vein. I was walking into a bar in the West End of London, yeah, and there was a £20 note on the floor.
Not 50.
So I went to pick it up. Went to pick it up, and it was on a piece of string, and somebody pulled it inside. I started laughing at you. Yeah,
that's
started
really
laughing
bad,
at you. Yeah, I know. It's
an old one,
they were doing it. They were doing that to everybody who came in. Yeah.
Well, people used to stick pound coins onto the floor with super glue, but no one would do that in this current, the way things are at the moment. And yeah, you could find a whole wallet somewhere. I found a whole woman's like you know, what do you call it, handbag, basically, just left in this bush, like it had been probably nicked or something, and then no money or anything in it, but everything was left inside there. But the worst thing was that there were all this medication in there. So I tried to hand it in somewhere in a shopping centre, and they were like, "Where did you find it?" I said, "Outside, down, you know, there." And they're like, "Oh, well, it's nothing to do with us then." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay, then I'll just." So I just basically gave it to these cleaners, and they were the nicest people. They were like, "Oh, okay, then we'll pass it on." Okay. So you go and ask the fucking security and stuff. They're like, "No, mate, I'm not getting my hands dirty with that." Okay. Yeah, I know there's some mild sedatives in there that this poor woman was taking. Now she's got a flipping handbag lost. She's not got the sedatives anymore. Hopefully she's got some more at home. And it's just like... I found tramadol on the floor the other day.
Yeah, in Oxford, you can't go into a city centre store now to use the toilet unless you've got a receipt to show that you're actually using it. Yeah. I
saw this guy. It's a YouTube channel.
You've got to have a receipt to use a toilet. You've got to purchase something before you can use a public toilet.
That is really bad. Really bad.
I know.
That's like that is borderline like Judge Dredd territory, I think.
It is. There's lots of books in the libraries, but I've noticed in other libraries around the country but aren't here. Yeah. Like how to get stuff making freezer lessons. Yeah.
You can always go in pubs and things, but the thing is they want you to have a drink.
Would you
so
have
what
a drink?
people going to do? Like, okay, I'll just have an
the entire
juice,
city centre, civic area of Oxford, city centre, the entire shopping area, you cannot do anything to use the public convenience. Yeah.
Without a receipt.
Without a receipt.
Or paying.
Purchase. Without a receipt of purchase. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I live in the city centre. I get stopped by the police when I go outside my front door to ask me what I'm doing, walk down the street, and if I see anybody run past. Yeah.
Are you serious? Are they trying to recruit you or something?
Oh, I'm just walking down the street. You know, I come out the front door. A police car pulls up, screeches up to the side, and I go, "What's up, guys?" And they say, "Where you come from?" And I say, "I live around here."
God.
I know. It's like that all the time. Yeah, it's like that all the time. Fucking pain in the
They're
ass.
using you as one of their like undercover operators.
So you said we go past
there. You go down in like really bad disguise.
I said, I live down there. I said, I've just come up the road. And they said, you see them to go past and look suspicious. Say, no, no one can say. Apart from you, yeah.
They should just hand you a walkie-talkie, I think.
Apart from you. Oh, no, we've got Rent-A-Cop, haven't we? We've got Rent-A-Cop. It went under the Housing and Social Care Reform Act. Rent-A-Cop, you know, the unpaid police officers used to be security guards in security guards in supermarkets. They were never allowed in the police force in the first place.
Oh, don't say that.
They were never allowed in the first place, but not actually having the right mental acuity. Yeah.
I don't think everybody.
Now they're all fucking specials, aren't they? Yeah. They're all fucking specials. Yeah. Rent-A-Cop goes. I watched it. This person's wearing odd socks. Shall I arrest them? Rent-A-Cop, they go, Rent-A-Cop, come back to station. Do not arrest them for wearing odd socks. Yeah?
You've pushed it over the line now, so.
No, my as I told you, my first father-in-law was a chief superintendent in a Met. He was a nice guy, actually, named Brian. Yeah. Nice guy. Yeah. He was all right. Yeah. Then it was the RAF. Yeah. They're okay. They're a bit looser.
No more name dropping and stuff. Because
the RAF.
I don't think anyone on the channel really will watch and know who you're talking about. So.
I'm still watching out for the RAF because the daughter didn't work out. Yeah. Making sure I don't get a drone up my ass. Yeah.
You've lost me now. So.
No, her father wasn't too happy, but I didn't marry her. Mm.
This is like 25 years ago or something.
No, this is relatively recent. Yeah. Relatively recent. Yeah.
10 years ago.
Under 10 years, yeah. Under 10 years.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we should do a much longer video or not, really, because I'm not sure if we've got anything else to talk about.
All I can say is I'm watching out every day for RAF aircraft. Yeah, just in case he's still got a grudge. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think that's going to happen. So.
It's unlikely, but you know, you just don't know. As the Klingons say, vengeance is a business served cold. It was her part anyway.
Would you like to mention anything to do with music before we finish?
Yeah, what music I've been doing recently? I've done a couple of new songs. Yeah. I do like
Called
Dream Dystopia. Is it Johnny Five? His Dream Dystopia.
Johnny, yeah.
I'm watching some of Johnny's stuff. Dream Dystopia. I've done a few new songs, and I've been setting down young people to use my workstations to learn a bit of music, yeah, on the software. So that's been going well.
You've been tutoring young people?
Not tutoring, because I'm not an expert, yeah.
Well, as long as it's not cheating.
I've been allowing them to use my software. My workstations, this workstation, the workstation over there, the equipment, and they've been more respectful. They were not respectful in the first place, yeah. They were treating it like little toys, yeah. But I've got them using the equipment. They won't be respectful to the equipment. They're going to blow it, yeah. Inputs out, outputs out. The XLRs, the mic in, mic inputs, the mixing desks, the all that. They were keen, too over keen, but they're backed off now, and they're settling down.
Are they actually people who have like a band, or are they?
Yeah, there's one band I'm helping produce at the moment. They're not very good, yeah, but they've got lots of. They've got lots of. They haven't got a name. They've got
that's probably a sign of their.
No, they are friends of friends. They are friends of friends, and they are quite fun. Yeah, quite fun. Yeah, they can't play their instruments. One believes it. One's been playing guitar for 30 years, but has never learnt. So he plays just one note all the time, yeah? I know. I'm not producing them, yeah? I'm just being nice to them.
Yeah? No, it'd be okay. You could still do something interesting, like...
I'm being very nice to them.
Have you ever listened to stuff off any of the Fall albums, for instance? I remember putting it on one time, and my dad... I was playing it to my dad, and he says, "What's this? The Brain Deads?" And I was like, and I was thinking, no, you're missing the point. That's kind of the point of some of it. It's like, there is an element with the Fall, like some of it was actually musically good, though. Like Hit the North, for instance, that's a great song, but with them, there's a lot of repetition and just basically it's Marquis Smith, like shouting over it and,
The Fall, F-A-L-L.
Surely you know who the Fall is.
No, I don't. I should have a look.
It's not just about, Marquis Smith, right? You Southern softies.
Where was I? I seem to have missed out 20 years.
No, the Fall are like, I'm not suggesting that I'm a big fan, but I think that they had their like hardcore fans and people who were really into music. But I'm more just into a lot of quite varied, but a lot of pop music and some rock. But I don't think a lot of rock music is generally as good, probably, as pop on the whole. For instance, Depeche Mode are what I would class as a pop rock band. So
just Depeche Mode earlier. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think that everything Depeche Mode has done is that great. Like, for instance, some Depeche Mode fans now are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get the remastered 25-year edition or whatever of the Ultra album with Barrel of a Gun on it. And, like, honestly, I mean, I think that was not good. Barrel of a Gun, it's like where they tried to embrace kind of Trent Reznor style sort of dirty electronic music, it was like
all my hard drives. I've got a hard drive there. It's just full of beats and construction kits for music.
Do you want to say anything about Depeche Mode?
What I mean is, but I stream my music, all my pleasure music, but all the music I create, I've got on all my hard drives and all my integrated circuit, all my integrated equipment. So, but I'm actually going through Sematics packages Somatics packages.
No, but I mean, you said before we started that you were watching Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I was. That's just streaming music. David Bowie's on now. But when I search on my computer equipment and my system studio equipment, it's all actually on the hard drives, all stored, beats, construction kits, tutorials,
Construction time again.
Yeah, all the music software, all the music documentation, all the musical structures, all the hardware. It's all inline, virtual, as well as hardware. Yeah, virtual as well as hardware.
Do you have anything you wanted to say about Depeche Mode? Now that I'm asking you the third time.
I would say that in 1982, the Oxford Mail described Depeche Mode as saying that in their Oxford concert, they were not going to go anywhere because they might as well not been there and just have the instruments playing themselves. Now, Depeche Mode are absolutely fucking brilliant. They've done a massive job over the years. So that's minus 5,000 to the Oxford Mail and plus 5,000 to Depeche Mode. Yeah?
Yeah, but I think that may have... I mean, I don't necessarily think they would have... There's probably some truth to that in that they were more reserved.
Depeche Mode are huge. And who's ever heard of the Oxford Mail?
Not really now, though.
Well, they got huge.
Andy Fletcher.
And they still are huge. They still are huge.
They're essentially now like, they're not really Depeche Mode anymore, to be fair. So
yeah, but they're still huge to me. Yeah.
Well, they're
big act. They're still huge to me.
They're still a big act who can sell out stadiums and everything. But yeah, I think the Oxford Mail, if anything, it had a mild point, but it was being cruel. But I think they came out of themselves more during the 80s in terms of performance and everything. So I think a lot of the bands in the early 80s had a thing of being quite reserved.
I worked at the Oxford Mail, and I do not like editorial. They're dull, non-interesting, and very boring. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they were like that, then I think Depeche Mode at first probably could be a bit reserved, but then I don't really understand how that's possible when they had a song like
the Oxford Times, right? Editorial.
Forget about the Oxford Times.
It's full of a bunch of. I've worked there. I don't like them.
So what?
Yeah, I don't like them.
A long, long time ago, Peter. No one what's their first song?
No, it was no. The Oxford Times, the Oxford Mail. Yeah, it was like I got demoted from London through drinking.
Just can't get enough.
Yeah, I got demoted from London through drinking and being a right reprobate. Yeah, and I had to come and bloody sort out this newspaper down here.
Like now.
Yeah. Yeah. They said you can piss off from London for a while and come back later once you've sorted out the bloody Oxford and Oxford Times.
Well, you were very lucky then, really, weren't you?
Well, I was just very good at my job.
They could have just sacked you and said bye.
Well, they didn't.
I know, but that's because you're down south. Up here, they probably would just say go. That's it.
Oh, you got me on Yorkshire tea up there then, yeah?
It's grim up north.
It's grim up north. Are you in Derbyshire? You're in Derbyshire. You're not up north. You're not up north at all.
Oh yeah, in Derbyshire, it's really nice. There's not homeless people just sleeping everywhere. And
come on, you've got Belper, you've got Matlock Bath, yeah. They're all in my knowledge of knowing that area, yeah. You can tell when you come up from London, Thomas Arkwright all over it, yeah. Thomas Arkwright all over it.
Yeah, but this doesn't make any indication on the current.
No, very, very well structured communities, good housing, good working conditions, and it shows. Thomas Arkwright all over the Amber Valley, yeah.
Thomas mould, dilapidated dwelling. One thing I was going to mention to you, if you let me speak for 1 second, is: have you ever heard of the film called London?
There's a few of those, aren't there?
It's a documentary. You'd know which one I mean if they made another one called Robinson in Space. It would really be up your alley. I think the guy is called Richard Kellner. It's like about modern Britain and this kind of thing, but like bringing in a lot of sort of artifacts of history and sort of weird references. Okay,
thank you very much. I believe I was complimented there.
Well, no, it's not a compliment. Honestly, it's more like it's just a
an
address
observation.
an address
An
to your
observation.
intelligence and creativity. Yes, so it's
Oh,
not
thank you very
intended
much. Thank you very much.
specifically as a compliment, just to be like buttering you up or something. But yes, you can take it as a compliment. But like, for instance, you've heard of Charles Fort, you know, like Fortean Times and all that kind of thing.
No.
Right? You've not heard of Charles Fort?
I've heard of pre-thought, pre-crime, and
No,
pre-distillation.
No, you've heard of the Fortean Times, right? That magazine. It's
Oh,
like,
the 14 Times, yeah, of course.
yeah, it's all about like curious phenomena and all that.
I read it all the time.
Well, I don't. No, I mean, it would. I can't concentrate on stuff like that if there's sort of like an article about
I
fairies.
just checked my Fortune 5000. I wonder how my DWP is doing today.
No, it's not like that. It's about like things like, do fairies exist? The history and phenomenology
exist?
of
No.
They can exist if you imagine them.
They come under UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah, not UFOs, UAPs. Fairies are UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah.
Let me just get this book here.
Yeah. They're UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah.
Anyway, this is something by headpress.com, but it came out quite a long time ago. Politics of the Imagination.
Politics of the Imagination, right?
So this is the guy.
Just what? So,
but it relates to things like that film Robinson in Space, which is really a documentary, and they did a follow-on to that called The Dilapidated Dwelling, which is the.
I suppose the first politics of the imagination would be within your questioning your own imagination and what is reality and what is not. So the duality would be your first question would be.
I'm going to have to finish in 1 second.
What is this and what is that? Yeah.
I'm worried about this even having recorded and things. So that book, you have to read it. You can't just sort of expound on it, really. But the
no, just taking the title and expanding.
In terms of the housing situation in this country, and you talking about being good communities and good housing, that's not true.
There?
That's not
Where's
true.
that? Oh, that's just the impression I got at 21, knowing Ryber and Matlock Bath, because it would be a
maybe
week
then.
We go from London, yeah. In the 1980s.
Well, the thing is, you didn't go a tour of probably the most dilapidated dwellings, did you? So
probably not. No.
There is.
We'll be up at the farm up on Ryber.
Have you heard? Have you just be quiet 1 second? Have you heard of the rented, generation, for instance? People now they can't buy anywhere.
Yes, I know.
They're renting, damp and just basically not fit for dwelling, really, places. And so this is the world we live in.
I am aware of this. I'm
sure in Oxford you can find real shithole. So.
Oh, Oxford's a tourist for it. Yeah. The actual city authority has just rolled out their own standards into the private sector, and it's going to be enforced by law. Yeah. So that the private landlord has to be maintained at the same standard, but the city council maintains their properties. They can insist on things like the city council. They've already installed a carbon monoxide installation. Yeah, they maintain my boiler. They fitted a shower unit for me that was through my disability. Yeah?
Well, that's very good, I must say.
They the standard of the accommodation is very high. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think that it can be in a lot of places you live nowadays. Somewhat hands off, like they're like, okay, can you do it yourself? But really, I do think that they should be a lot more hands-on. But that's part and parcel of the things we've been through, and it is probably changing for the better, I think. So I'm glad to hear about what you've got anyway. But like I said, anyway, I'm going to have to finish this and just check it recorded.
But I am aware, but there are many, but are not
Peter,
in good standard accommodation.
I'm going to have to end now because I want to make sure this is recorded. Otherwise, we'll have been talking just privately for an hour and 5 minutes. And it won't go anywhere if it's not recorded. So I'm going to have to head off now because it's 6:37 and just have a bath and all this kind of stuff. So I just want to wish you a good time over the rest of the week and Christmas, and hope you're all right, and hope we can talk very soon again.
Okay.
You know, do a live video or something if you were interested.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So thank you again. Okay.
Take care.
All right. All the best for now.
And you.